I'm Lauren from the Enough Stuff podcast and Substack and Instagram. I skipped last Sunday, and that's okay. That's totally cool. Here we are. I'm inside today because the last few times I haven't been inside, but actually outside, and I can't really show you because it doesn't show up well on this old, I'm doing air quotations, phone. Also because there are screens and it like messes up the camera. But I am essentially living in a slow globe, a snow globe right now. It's beautiful. I'm gonna go out there in a bit and shovel. But I just wanted to come on here and say that if you haven't already given a read to my 12 Days of Christmas, that concluded Friday, I believe, or Thursday. I did, 12 days consecutively of different things to consider over the holidays if you're looking to celebrate in a more sustainable way. And when I say sustainable, it's not just waste. It's also sustaining our happiness and sustaining our calm and cool because we all know how stressful the holidays can be. And so part of the ethos, for me at least, of sustainability is sustaining ourselves as well. And like the more we connect with ourselves, the more we want to take care of the earth, because the more we realize that we're all part of this cog that is everything. So that's a pretty extreme analogy, but it's true. And the holidays are a time when we can easily get caught up in the gift giving and all this stuff. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's wonderful to give. But we kind of forget ourselves in the process because we feel this, let's be honest, kind of invisible pressure, to perform and to be part of this whole Christmas facade. The pure part of Christmas, and I'm just going to say the holidays from now on because I truly believe in taking the Christ out of Christmas, as it did originate as a pagan celebration, and the West has kind of molded it to the Christian view, but now it's just more about buying stuff. But originally, these things were ancient rituals that weren't tied to Christianity. So, where was I going with this? And that ties into us because we should be getting more in tuned with our connection with the earth. So, back to the stress that we feel around the holidays and what the holidays actually should be about, and what they should actually be about, and what I think they are for a lot of people. It gets kind of buried in the stuff, literally, is the giving, being with people, sharing, donating, whether that be physical things, your time, money, if you have it to give, food. But these things shouldn't stop at the holidays. They should be carried on through the year. And I think as I get older, every year, I just find it harder and harder to celebrate and partake in this commercialized Christmas. And I'll be honest, I don't have shit for anyone this year. I bought a friend an item that another friend made because they expressed that they needed that item, and then something tragic happened in their life and like they couldn't get that item. So I have purchased from a friend who makes like the warm up bags that you can put in the in the microwave and warm up and put on your neck or back. And she uses repurpose material and natural ingredients. So I am supporting someone I know personally. And then I'm like, I don't know, taking a few people out for a drink or something that I love, but I'm not wrapping stuff. I'm not giving gifts. For me, my gift from the people I love is literally just spending time with them. And I know it sounds like a cop out, but this is the society being like, oh, if you don't show up with a gift, like, how dare you, And I'm just like not prescribing to that anymore. I'm not giving into that anymore because um, Christmas or the holidays, the heart should be all the time. It should be all the time. It shouldn't just be for the month of December where we're like suddenly very generous and giving like more than usual. We should always be giving when we're able. And unfortunately, the way things are right now, it's a lot of people can't give, a lot of people need to receive. So if we're able to give, it's great. And this all ties into sustainability in the end, because if we're celebrating in a more sustainable, ecological way, we're not feeling so much pressure and we're not giving power to these big corporations who really profit big time around this time of year. And so if you're like getting into boycotting, or you're just trying to reduce or vote, sorry, you're trying to like vote with your money and stuff, this is a really good time to do that, because these corporations are like, we've got you because we expect you to buy the people in your life all this crap that they don't need. And I feel like a lot of people that are listening to this are like on the same page as me, which is great. And I'm not saying you have to be. This is the wonderful thing, but this is why I did the 12 days of eco holidays, because I figured that there could be people out there looking to want to change how they show up at this time of year, but just like unsure how to do so. Because when we start shifting the paradigm and shifting the way we see things and unlearning things, it's like there's no book there are books, but there's no just like one book to go and pick up and be like, this is how I shift. Sorry, I'm going to take a bite of my Beniner. This is how we shift our perspective. So I want to be part of that for people, you know? So I'm like starting at bare basics, like just, I feel like one of the most simple things, instead of starting like extreme and not giving gifts, because people are going to give gifts. So you can wrap your gifts in just bags that you already have, things you already have, or just like go and find, maybe you had takeout last night and you have an untouched paper bag. You can use that to wrap some gifts. It's simple little things in the beginning to snowball into more progress with where you're going and how you're celebrating the holidays. And maybe down the line, you will come to the realization that the holidays aren't about the acquisition of stuff. It isn't about giving your kids tons of shit they don't need. It's about teaching them that it's a time where we get together with those we love, if we're fortunate enough to have those, or if we don't have family, we find our family and we find people to spend time with. And, we find our way back to ourselves, and therefore we find our way back to our connection with humans and our connection with the planet and the earth, and therefore nature. Whoa! It's all full circle. So yeah, like definitely check out those 12 newsletters that I just released. if you're looking for just some simple, accessible, that's important. These things should be accessible. Christmas is so not accessible for so many people because there's this expectation of dropping tons of money. Like, I haven't even bought people gifts, and I feel like I've dropped tons of money already. And like, I'm trying to celebrate in a more economic way for myself. But there are just like so many ways to celebrate that don't support evil corporations. And let's be honest, like, that's kind of what the holidays now are all about, is just purchasing and purchase power. So, you can make quite the statement if at Christmas you opt out of all that stuff and you buy local and you buy from people if you know artisans, or you just don't buy anything because let's be honest, like, don't we mostly have what we need? I feel like I have what I need. I don't need anything else. Like, I've had my parents ask me what I want for Christmas, and I honestly just want to spend time with them. I want to spend time with my family. I'm not really giving anyone anything, and I know that sounds maybe like bullshit, but this I'm always questioning these motives behind these societal actions, and I'm not questioning the motive behind giving, because giving is wonderful and giving should always be happening. I'm questioning why we give, what we give, and when we give, and how we give. And like, how do we rewrite that script and work it more into our everyday lives to just be constantly giving in ways that are sustainable to us and like don't damage the planet, because we are drowning in stuff. And after every kind of Black Friday or Christmas, whatever, it's really even more evident. Like, if you go to a thrift shop, I was in a thrift shop the other day, and I'll be honest, I am trying to cut back on going to thrift shops because inevitably I see something that I want, and then I'm like, why do I want this? Don't I have enough? So I'm like really trying to cut back, but that's like my shop till you drop. Like, that's my version going through a thrift shop. But I was at a thrift shop. It's a very nice one. It's big. It's kind of like a Value Village, but just nicer. And I was just kind of struck by how much stuff was in this store. Rows and rows of very organized and um, meticulously placed clothing. And if you think about all the places like that, so, I don't see why we have to get new stuff at Christmas. Like, I used to love getting new stuff. Guys, I'm not immune. Like, I love Christmas. Like, I used to love Christmas. I was an only child, and my parents weren't together, so I would go to each place, and I had like pretty decent Christmases at both and got so much stuff, which half of it now is probably in the landfill. I don't know where it is. And I, as an adult now, and I know my parents were just like giving to me, and that was just kind of like what was expected in the 90s and early 2000s. There wasn't as much consciousness about all this stuff, but now there is, and we have so many thrift stores. Like, you can buy literally everything secondhand, and it's if you need to buy gifts, and the stuff is in relatively good shape. Ah, okay. I'm getting a little carried away. I get really passionate about this stuff, and I guess what kind of stopped me from buying new things in general, especially around the holidays, but, like, I haven't bought something new for myself. Okay, that's not true. I did just buy something new for myself, and I will tell you what I bought. So, I love music, and for the longest time, I've been kind of ignoring my passion for music, and my passion to make music or just, like, learn music. So, I bit the bullet and I purchased new because I couldn't find it used, and I, like, wanna get going on this because time it's always of the essence when you wanna learn something. I splurged and I bought myself, like, a silicone roll-up keyboard because I'm currently not in one place, I'm moving around a lot, and I wanted something that could support my learning and, like, travel with me. So but that's the first new item I've bought in probably, like, a few years. And so my what switched in my mind to stop buying new, other than just seeing all the stuff that is around and, like, that exists. First, I was like, "Okay, that item I need, it already exists somewhere." And the piano I just bought, I did look secondhand for quite a while. But it's such a strange, like, specialty item that I just, like, couldn't find it. So yeah, not my finest moment, but, like, I'm not perfect, and sometimes it happens, okay? But the second thing was just, like, I didn't wanna be the reason that something else was made. I didn't wanna be like, "Okay, I'm buying this thing, and now a new item is going to be made because I purchased an item," if that makes sense. And there's yeah, I think for me, the primary thing is that, like, everything already exists. Unless you're getting something, like, state of the art, which that for my keyboard thing, it's, like, a very new technology, so I couldn't find it, right? Um, so that I get, and I always support like, I buy a lot of art supplies. I when it comes to health, when it comes to art, it's there are ways to create art in a more sustainable way, but sometimes, like, buying an instrument and these things to create something that is sustainable for you and in the end, the environment, because 'cause you're not consuming, sometimes you have to buy something new. Although a lot of, instruments you can find used. I am going off track and I'm burping. I always burp during these live videos. Anyway, I just, like, can't for the life of me understand why people buy new things. I'm terrible. I'm extreme, like, I'm radical. I'm so radical. I just yeah, like, I don't foresee myself buying another new item for, like, years at this point, and, yeah, I just, like, mend your clothes, keep things in rotation if you're able, and whatever. So, in conclusion, what a mess. What a shit show. In conclusion, this holiday season, go back, read my 12 days of eco holidays, see how this coming week you can tread a little lighter on our mother this holiday season because inevitably it's just a wasteful time in general. I've been wasteful this holiday season. I can be a wasteful person. Sometimes it's just unavoidable, and that's just part of my ethos here at Enough Stuff is that perfection, A, what is it? Doesn't exist. B, it's like a moving target, but we can always try, and every day we can restart and set different goals for ourselves and how we want to tackle the day and our waste. But, around the holiday season, it becomes particularly difficult to avoid waste. So these are little tips and tricks to minimize your footprint, I guess. I don't always like saying your impact this holiday season. If you have any questions, always reach out. Like, I love connecting with people and talking about everything. And if you haven't listened to the new official podcast episode with my friend Kate Courtsidis, Sustainability and Giggles, please go listen to that. It was really fun. Kate is such a vivacious, intelligent, and wonderful human, and we had such a fun time recording. I hope we get to again. But please, go listen to that. Spread the word. I'm just me doing all this, and I'm like kind of a lazy bum. So I'm still figuring out how to show up in a way that's sustainable for me and still like make an impact with people. If you haven't subscribed to my newsletter on Substack, please, you don't need to be on Substack to subscribe. All you need is an email address, and you can go and check that out. And just like let me know somewhere, comments, wherever. Let me know how you're celebrating this holiday season. If there's anything you're doing to tread a little more lightly on the planet this coming holiday season, what that is, and if you have any ideas of how we can make this a more conscientious and eco-friendly holiday season. Okay, I think I probably won't be doing this till the new year. So have a wonderful holiday, and don't hesitate to be in touch with me and we can talk about stuff. Enough stuff. Okay, toodaloo. Ciao for now.